Hi students, welcome to Plus One Computer class. You know the specialities of C++ programming. C++ programming consists of different types of control statements. Control statement that indicate the flow of program. Flow of program means it indicate the flow of C++ program. Okay, so the commonly used C++ statements we studied. In the previous video we discussed about the different control statements, that means iteration statements and iteration statement body part. That means it consists of initialization statement, test expression, body of the loop, updation expression. And also we discussed about the working of while loop. While loop is an entry controlled loop, how it is working. Then there is one more entry control loop present, that is called for loop. So in this video we are going to discuss what is mean by for loop and the different code of that means different code segments available for loop, and after that we will discuss what is mean by do while loop. Okay, so we will start with for loop. So what is our topic? For loop. For loop, the first point is it is an entry controlled loop. It is an entry controlled loop. For loop is an entry controlled loop. Entry controlled loop means it consists of all the four segments, that means initialization, test expression, body of the loop, but its arrangement is different. Okay, it's not like while, the arrangement of all these four body part is different. So first I will write the syntax of for loop. So it uses the keyword for, then inside the parenthesis first you want to write initialization statement. Initialization statement, then semicolon, test expression, semicolon, then body of the loop, test expression, then update expression. Okay, initialization, test expression, update expression. Then one more is left, that is called body of the loop. Body of loop. Then close the bracket. So this is the general syntax of for loop. So in all the for loop, initialization, test expression and update expression is enclosed between the parentheses. All these three terms are enclosed between parentheses. Then the working will be like this. First the initialization will work. Initialization is taking place. After the initialization, test expression will work. After the test expression, body of the loop will execute. After body of the loop, updation expression will execute. Again, after the updation, again you want to check the initialization. You don't want to check the initialization. Again we will start with test expression. So initialization will work only one time, but all the other term, that means other three terms, test expression, update expression and body of the loop will work according to the number of iteration that we are using in the program. So this is the general syntax of a for loop. Initialization, test expression, update expression, body of the loop. Initialization, test expression, update expression and body of the loop. So these are the terms. So all these we are enclosed between the parentheses and open just outside the loop, body of the loop we are executing. Okay, clear? Then, so we already discussed a small program to print the natural numbers from 1 to 3. Okay, so that I can write like this using for loop, for initialization statement. So we will start with number 1. K equal to 1. Then what will be the test expression? K less than or equal to 3K plus plus. Okay, so this is initialization, test expression and update expression. All we are enclosed inside the parenthesis. Then what will be the body of the loop? Body of the loop. C out K, then C out slash T. Close the bracket. So slash C out K means to print the number, then next line slash T to leave space. Okay, then So we are going to write a C++ program to find the factorial of a number. What is our program? The program is using for loop we are going to write a C++ program to find the factorial of a number using for loop. Factorial of a number means suppose you want to find 5 factorial. Okay, factorial, 5 factorial. How you will find the 5 factorial? To find the 5 factorial, 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5. Then what will be the answer? 120. Suppose you want to find the factorial of a number, then you want to multiply the numbers from 1 to that particular number. So we are going to repeat the same procedure. Multiplication we are repeating number of times. That means all the factors that we are accessing starting from 1 to that corresponding number. So this is happening when you find the factorial of a number. So we are multiplying from 1 to the corresponding number. Then I am going to write the program to find the factorial. Hash include IOStream. Hash include IOStream using namespace std, semicolon int main. Then so we want to input a number to find the factorial. So here I am declaring two variable int n comma I. Here n, for what we are using n? You want to input the number, for example 5 factorial, then n is equal to 5. Here I is a loop control variable. Then you want to save the value long fact equal to 1. Okay, what does this long indicate? Long. Long means it is a type modifier. For example, if you input find the factorial of 36, then what will happen? 1 into 2 into 3 into up to 36. Then definitely we will get a large number. So when we use integer, then it will not fit or it will not able to fit the final result. So always you want to include some extra memory for the final result. So that's why here I am using long type modifier. Okay. Then cout, enter the number. Enter the number. Then cin n. Okay, for example, if n is equal to 5, then you want to find the 5 factorial. Then here I am going to use the number. So I equal to 1 will be the initialization statement. Then I less than or equal to n, I plus plus. Fact is equal to fact star I. Cout factorial is equal to fact. Then return 0. Close the bracket. Okay, so what is happening here? We are declaring two variable n and I. Here I is a loop control variable, n to indicate the size. Then long fact equal to 1. Long fact equal to 1. We are declaring one more variable called fact to store the final result. Then we are entering the number cin n. Then after that, for I equal to 1, I less than or equal to n, I plus plus. Fact equal to fact star I. Cout factorial equal to fact. Then return 0. So here I equal to 1 is the initialization statement. I less than or equal to 1 is the test expression. For example, n is equal to 5. Let us assume we are inputting value n is equal to 5. Then how it will work? Value of I is equal to 1. 1 less than or equal to 5. Condition true. So now the value present at fact is equal to 1. So we can write 1 star 1. Okay. Then after that, fact equal to fact star I. Then after that again value of I change to I plus plus. Then value of I change to 2. Then star 2. Then star 3. Star 4. Star 5. After 5 it will change to 6. 6 less than or equal to n. Condition false. So we will get the final result in that variable fact, and that we can print using cout statement. Okay, so here we can also use while loop for this. For the same program we can write using while loop. Okay, so this is using for loop, no? Same we can write using while loop. For that, the initialization you want to write first. I equal to 1. Then while I less than or equal to n, open the bracket. Cout, okay, what we are executing here? Fact is equal to fact star I. Then I plus plus. Close the bracket. Cout factorial equal to fact. Okay, so the definition and the representation will be different. So we can use while loop and also for loop to find the factorial of a number. Then again, one more question that we are going to discuss now. Another program, same program that is in your textbook, that is to find the average score of n students. Okay, average score of n student. So here we are declaring variable int I. Then to find the average score we require variable called sum. Then score comma n to specify the number of student. To save the average we are using float avg. Then cout how many students, the number of students equal to n, c in n. Then I am going to start the for loop. For I equal to 1, then here two initialization statement, I equal to 1, one more variable I am using, sum equal to 0. That means in a for loop we can include one or more initialization statement, but you want to use comma to separate the initialization statement. Then what will be the test expression? I less than or equal to n I plus plus. I plus plus or plus plus I, both we can write. Open the bracket. Cout, enter the score. First student mark we can enter. Then C in score. Then the sum we are entering. Now sum is equal to sum plus score. Then close the bracket. So now the sum is at variable sum. So at the outside the loop we can find the average. Sum equal to average equal to sum equal to sum by n. AVG equal to sum by n. Look here. Sum and n both are integer variable. Sum and n both are integer variable. So when we divide number by n, there is a chance for getting floating point number. So if we write like this, then what will happen? Automatically it will change to the left side value. So that we know. So we can write like this. Float of sum by n. Float of sum by n. Here float programmer is specifying. Okay, here the data type is specified by the programmer. So this is an example for explicit type conversion. This is an example for explicit type conversion or type promotion that we are giving. Okay, so float or explicit type conversion. So after printing the average, we can print Cout average is equal to AVG. Then get CH, close the bracket. Okay, so in this program, first you want to enter the number of students. So we enter number 5. Then the first student mark we will get in sum, and after that the second student, third student, fourth and fifth student. So the iteration will execute, and after each iteration we will get some one of the value in sum. So after the iteration, or when the condition turns false, then it will lead to body of the loop, or it will execute the outside. That means the program control go off out of the loop. So the output statement, the outside statement will execute, that is AVG equal to float of sum by n. Then we can print the average. Clear? So this is for executing or using for loop in a C++ statement. Then next one, there will be different types of code segment present in C++ programming, that we will discuss next. The first code segment is for n equal to 1, then n less than 5, n plus plus. Then Cout n. You know the general syntax of a C++ for loop statement. In for loop, immediately after for there will be no semicolon, but here semicolon is mentioned. So if you get a question, predict the output. So here the value of n is equal to 1, n less than 5, then Cout n, n plus plus. That means the actual execution is taking place, but here semicolon is known as terminator or delimiter of a C++ statement. So when we write, or when we forgot to, or by mistake if you include a semicolon immediately after the parenthesis, then there will be no syntax error, or there actually it is a logical error. Then what will be the output? The wrong answer or the false value will come as answer. So here Cout n. Normally what you want to get? You want to get number 1, 2, 3 and 4. This is for printing the natural number from 1 to 4. If value of n reaches 5, 5 less than 5, condition false. So if semicolon is mentioned, then which value will execute? False value will execute. As an output we will get number 5. Okay, we will get number 5 as answer. Clear? So if semicolon is mentioned in for loop, there will be no syntax error. We will get the answer, but what will be the answer? The condition, the false condition will come as output. Okay, so this is the first code segment. Then in the second code segment, here it is for n equal to 1 semicolon, n less than 5, then parenthesis, close the parenthesis, Cout n. So this is code segment 2. In this code segment, update statement is missing. Update statement is missing. So if the update statement is missing, then it will not lead to a false value, or it will not lead to false value. So what will be the output? There will be no syntax error. The loop will execute, but it will not terminate. Or if the loop is executing without termination, it will lead to infinite loop. It will lead to infinite loop. If updation expression is missing in for loop, n equal to 1, n less than 5, then we can print number 5. But it will not lead to another. That means the program control will remain inside the loop because there is no updation statement. We can't check the test expression. So it will lead to infinite loop. Then third one, code segment 3. For initialization is missing, n less than 5, n plus plus, Cout n. So in this statement, what is missing? Initialization is missing. So in this kind of expression, there will be no syntax error. We can't predict the output. We can't predict the output. We can't predict output means we don't know the initialization value. So if we don't know the initial value, then the compiler will print some of the value that is not belonging, that means that should not have any relation with our normal program. Then fourth one, if test expression is missing, n equal to 1, there will be no test expression, n plus plus, then C out n. If test expression is missing, then it also will lead to infinite loop. Infinite loop means if initialized test expression is not present, then we can't specify the false value. Then automatically the program will work. The loop can't exit from the looping statement because there will be no test expression. So in a for loop statement, if semicolon is present immediately after the parenthesis, there will be no syntax error. We will get the output. The false value will come as output. Second one, if updation is missing, then it will lead to infinite loop. If initialization is missing, program will work, but we can't predict the output. Then last one, if test expression is missing, then it will lead to infinite loop. Okay, so these are the commonly used code segments in for loop statement. Clear? So these are for loop, how the for loop is working and what are the special statements that we are using in for loop. So the two entry controlled statement, while loop and for loop statement is over. Then the another statement that we are using in C++ is do while. Okay, the another aspect or another term that we are using in C++ is do while. The first program or the first point for do while loop is this is an exit controlled loop. What is it? This is an exit controlled loop. Then first I will write the general syntax for do while statement. Initialization statement. Then do, open the bracket, body of loop, then updation, then close the bracket. Immediately after that write while. In while we are specifying the condition, while test expression, then after that semicolon. Clear? So do while loop is an entry exit controlled loop. Do while is an exit controlled loop. So here the first body of the loop is executing, after that the condition is checking. So I will draw the flow chart that will explain the working of do while loop. In do while loop, the first thing is initialization. Initialization statement is executing first. Then after that, after the initialization, what is happening after the initialization? After the initialization, body of the loop is executing. Body of loop. After body of the loop, next one, updation. Updation statement. After updation statement, decision is checking. Decision or test expression. Test expression is checking. Okay, test expression is checking. If the condition is true, what will happen? It will execute the body of the loop. Okay, again the body of the loop is executing. If the condition is false, what will happen? It will lead to outside the loop. Outside of loop. Okay, so this is the general syntax for do while loop. So we are starting with the keyword do and open the bracket, body of the loop, updation, while, test expression. Then suppose you want to print natural numbers from 1 to 3. Same variable we can use, k equal to 1. Initialization statement. Do, open the bracket. What will be the body of the loop? We are printing C out k. body of the loop. Then also I am including an escape sequence called /n. Then after that, close the bracket. What will be the condition? While k less than or equal to 4, less than or equal to 3, immediately after that you want to use semicolon. Clear? So this is the general syntax for do while loop. General syntax for do while loop. This is an example for do while loop. So this is the flowchart diagram that indicate the working of do while. Clear? So in do while, it is an exit control. By this picture you can identify immediately after body of the loop and updation we are checking the test expression. Then if the condition is true, body of the loop is executing. Okay, so hope you understood the working of do while loop. Do while loop is also an iteration statement, but it is working in different manner. This is not an entry control loop, this is an exit controlled loop. Then immediately after body of the loop and updation, the test expression is executing. Then after that, it will again leads to body of the loop. Clear? So hope you understood the different aspects that we are using in C++ program. So again, we will revise the topics that we studied from this video. What was our topic? For statement. So we started with for loop. What is the general syntax of for loop? How we are executing for loop statement, and also the different code segment in for loop. That means if semicolon is present, then what will be the output? If initialization is missing, if updation is missing, test expression is missing, what will happen? These are the different code segment. This will not lead to any of the syntax error, it will lead to logical error. Then after that, do while loop. Actually, do while loop is an exit controlled loop. It's not belonging to entry controlled category. It is an exit controlled loop. So there will be slight change in the arrangement of all these loops. So this is the initialization statement, test example, and then flowchart representation. Then the program based on do while loop we will discuss in the next video. Then you want to write one homework in your notebook, that is 10 numbers, the average between 10 numbers, even numbers between. Write a program to print the even numbers. Then I already mentioned so many C++ programs, so which you just think, just identify the problem and then you can choose any of the looping statement. It may be for loop or while loop. Do while loop we didn't start, so we can use for or while for solving the problem. Okay, so hope you understood the remaining section, that means example of do while loop we will discuss in the next video. Okay, then thank you.